Alright, this is the first video of the channel. Welcome to the bottom of the barrel, where we are hard up but not hopeless. Try not to be, at least. Anyways, I'm your host. You can call me host. Let's see what content we can scrape up here for you today. By the way, I have zero skills. I don't know what I'm doing, but you can't start unless you start. So I'm starting. We'll see. Hopefully there'll be some improvements over time. Yeah, I don't even know how to edit videos or do anything, so I'm just doing this in one shot, and we will see where this goes. Every day I'm going to try and upload something and small incremental improvements. So I work 15 hours a day, 7 days a week. I do gig work, so I deliver food. Grubhub, Uber, DoorDash, all that. 15 hours a day. Sometimes other things get in the way and I have to take care of business, but for the most part, I wake up and I dash or I drive until I go to bed. So I document all my orders. This is the purpose of this channel here. I document all my orders. I look at those numbers every day. I look at where I can make improvements to the process. And as far as creating content, as I said, I have no idea what I'm doing. But every day I'm going to put up a quick review of my previous day's numbers. I've been doing this for about 4 years now, on and off. I'm also a manufacturing engineer, and I really enjoy looking at processes and seeing how to make them more efficient and more productive. So that's what I do with pretty much everything, including DoorDash. When I'm not actively on an engineering contract, I'm just doing DoorDash. Gig work, really, not just DoorDash. So every day I'm going to go through these numbers and present them and show you guys. So here's how I document everything. It's not very clean, but it works for me. It's over here. Every day I have a sheet like this. So let's find a good one. I've been rearranging it every day. If I find that a different way works better, then I modify how I do it. So let's see. Here's a good one right here. Walgreens. It was $15.30. It was Grubhub, that's the G. And it was for... Sorry, my screen has a big a big break in it where I can't see things on the screen, so I'm constantly having to move things over, just like that, so that I can see them. There's a line of dead pixels down one side of it. Kind of like the face of Scar. Anyways, there's the start time, 7:44 p.m. End time, 8:09 p.m. There's the total minutes. Here on this gray line, that's the minutes that I'm trolling around waiting for an order. I don't stay in one place, because if I'm in one place and I'm not getting an order, chances are I'm not going to get an order there. So I just drive. I drive to other hot spots and usually get something fairly quick. Here's another one. This was a stacked order here from Grubhub again for Wiener Schnitzel and Shake Shack for $18.15. I got another one for Arby's. Of course, my autocorrect thinks Arby is better than Arby. Anyways, for $5.24, it was just like an extra mile, and Arby's was fairly close by, so I grabbed it. Here I have the start time and the end time. This right here is waiting time while I'm on the order. And there I was 3 minutes, because at Arby's I couldn't get help from an employee for 3 minutes. The order, I could see it sitting behind the counter. I just couldn't reach it. Otherwise I would have grabbed it and ran. And there's the total time, 46 minutes. So I document that for every single order that I do. I don't stop and do that work. I wait until I take screenshots of everything, and then I wait until I'm waiting at a restaurant, like the order's not ready or something like that, and then I start typing everything up. Just try to take advantage of downtime. Otherwise, if it's order after order, which sometimes there's days like that, I have to wait till the very end, and then sometimes you forget what happened on certain deliveries. Even if you take good documentation of things, sometimes hard to remember. So I don't like to wait too long, but if there's orders coming, I won't stop. So that's it. All my orders are like that, and I have a good picture at the end of the night of what happened. So let's see. Oh yeah, here at the very beginning, I have my start time. It says PM, 11:02 PM. That wasn't right. I started at 11 in the morning. I took 10 minutes total of breaks, and a break is where I actually stop and I turn off my apps. Otherwise, I don't take breaks. I eat while I'm driving. I make food that I don't need to sit and stop and eat with a spoon or something, a utensil. It's sandwiches, fruits and vegetables, things like that. There's my total time yesterday, from 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. to 2:16 a.m., 15 hours. And now I'm just trying to give you an overview of how I track this stuff every day. So that's the tracking. So here's my stats from yesterday. I think on future deliveries or future videos, I'm just going to go straight to this. I had 33 orders, 24 from Uber, 8 from Grubhub, 1 from DoorDash. DoorDash doesn't really give me much anymore. Total time was 15:04. Total mileage was 288. Total pay was $333. My per hour, of course, with the gross number, was 22 per hour. And gas, I filled up once yesterday. It wasn't quite on empty. It took me $15. Usually it's more like $20 to $30 a day. Total time, 15:04. The total active time, which was when I was actually on a delivery, that was only 10 hours and 37 minutes, including deliveries that for some reason can't be completed. So yeah, there's 4.5 hours there where I'm just trolling around waiting for orders. It's a long time to not be working, but it is what it is. Break time, 10 minutes. That's where I was actively turned off my apps to take care of something. Sometimes it's to go to the bathroom. Sometimes it's to take a call where I actually have to concentrate and I can't be driving. Here's things, total waiting time, where you're at a restaurant and for some reason you can't proceed. You have to wait a minute. And I rearranged it in order of what took the most time. So an order not being ready took an hour of the day total. That sucks. A customer not being available for me to hand off the order and I have to wait, or I have to go to a different location or something like that. That was 10 minutes. NIS is not in system, meaning I get to a restaurant, they don't have it in the system. So they look at my phone and they make it based off of that. That was a total of 8 minutes. Let's see. Help, meaning I couldn't get help from anybody. I could see my order ready sitting right there. Now, if I can't get help from somebody and the order's not ready, they're still making it, and I find that out, well, then I put it as order not ready. But if it's ready and I just can't get help, that's what that means. Drive-through. If I get through the drive-through and when I get to the window it's ready to go, then I just write it as drive-through. If it's not ready to go when I get to the window, then all that waiting time was order not ready. And not ready is generally the biggest time waster, across the day. Now here's failed orders. This is where an order for whatever reason can't be completed. Most of it is through Uber. They're the heavy hitters when it comes to screwing over drivers for order not ready. For failed orders. Canceled orders were 21 minutes. That's where the time from when I accepted it till the time I was at the restaurant, they said, oh yeah, that order was canceled. 21 minutes. Not in system, and they weren't willing to make it. That was 8 minutes. Excessive wait. I didn't have any like that. Where I unassigned because it's just too long. Map fail. That's where I'm driving, but my map doesn't update. I don't realize until I get to the destination, and it's not the restaurant. I'm too far away, and if I keep the order, it'll be a violation. So, store closed, and APU is already picked up, meaning somebody else already picked up the order, and for some reason the order's still in the system. Screwing over drivers. So that's that. That's everything. Those are the things that I track. I think I'm going to do this every day, and over maybe once a week, I'll make like a similar video, but for the whole week. And then once a month, I'll do the same thing for the whole month, but I'll also include deeper dives and more information about the channel itself. So here's the purpose. The reason I'm making this channel is because I think a lot of people don't look at gig work as a respectable thing, and they don't look at it as something that can make them a lot of money. True, it's, I'm making about $20 an hour, which is, not too far away from minimum wage, but the sheer number of hours that I work, I make more than I do as an engineer. A lot of times with engineering, I don't get paid for overtime, or I do, but there's not a lot of overtime. And just the sheer number of hours that I can work with gig work, I make more money than being an engineer. A lot of people in my life give me shit for not, going back to engineering, but I make more money doing gig work, considering there's no unpaid overtime. And I like not having a boss. And I like that I can work as many hours as I want. I like that I can do the job the way I want to do it, Used to pay a lot more, which was awesome. The pandemic paid so much more. But it's still just above the limit where I don't want to do it anymore, because I can make more money doing something else. I'm actively doing other things as well, but this still makes the most sense for right now. But this is why I'm taking a look at it from like a process engineering perspective. I do 30 deliveries a day. There's a total of 60 stops. If I can make a 1 second improvement per stop, that's for 60 stops in a day, that's 1 minute per day. Now there's one stop at the restaurant and there's one stop at the customer. So I'm getting in and out of my car twice for every delivery. So I'm getting in and out of my car 60 times a day. So if I can make small improvements, it compounds over time. So 1 minute per day is 30 minutes a month, which is about $10 a month, maybe a little more, which is about $120 per year. Now, if I go try to buy a house and get an FHA loan, I got good credit right now. Been working on it for a long time. I can get, I think it's like 3%. All I have to have is a down payment of 3%. And so if I save $120 per year and I use that as a 3% down payment, I know I can't buy a house with that, but if that's an additional, part of my down payment, that would allow me to buy an extra $4,000 worth of house. And that's just 1 second per stop of an improvement on all these deliveries. And so, if it's a few seconds per stop, well, now you're looking at tens of thousands of dollars of additional house that I can buy with the money that I can save. So if you look at it from the delivery side, 1 minute per delivery, that's 30 deliveries per day. That's 30 minutes per day that I could save, which I would theoretically be on more deliveries, doing more deliveries per day. 30 minutes per day, that's $10, which is $300 a month, which is $3,600 per year. Now that's actual, like $3,600 per year, which if I'm using that as a down payment on a 3.5% down payment loan, that's an extra $120,000 worth of house that I can purchase. So compounding and leverage, I think, can do a lot more than people give it credit for. And so that's about it. This is why I look at gig driving as from a process engineering perspective, and look at where I can eliminate small amounts of waste in the process. Through repetition, that small amount of waste really creates a lot of additional value at the end of the year. So that's it. Over time, I'll try to take a deeper dive into certain aspects of the process to see where the biggest gains can be made. I'll probably put up like a Pareto chart when I take a deeper dive into one aspect to see exactly what is the biggest source of potential improvement. I will probably add video footage for, entertainment, as well as for taking more detailed time studies of the actual process that's going on. But yeah, this is a really boring video. I don't expect anybody to watch it, but it is what it is. I got to get a video up because you can't start unless you start. You can't make something better unless you got something to start with. So this is it. All right. You guys have a great day, and go make some money.